Good morning, everybody. Jackie here at Evolution Fitness and Wellness. And this morning, I was taking a little bit of time to review my day yesterday, thinking about a consultation I had with a couple yesterday afternoon. I had actually met with this couple before the pandemic, and I tend not to be a what we call high pressure salesperson. But today, it really occurred to me that I have to get out of my head and stop thinking about what I'm offering people here as me selling them something versus giving them an opportunity to live with optimal longevity. So what do I mean by that? This married couple that I saw yesterday, I was really shocked at the change in posture and overall muscle tone. Really, honestly, just going to say that this gentleman, although he's got a recent diagnosis for a degenerative disease, I really have to say that I was kind of shocked at how much I had seen him decline since our first meeting a couple of years ago. And it made me sad because I think if I had done a little bit better job of helping him understand how important our exercise program is, how important strength training is, this gentleman would be in a lot better shape than when I saw him yesterday. We still have an opportunity to help him. I am happy to say that he'll be back in here on Thursday, meeting with some of our current clients, observing a session, but I really do feel like he has a better idea of why this is so important, and I want to share that information with you because now I have a fire lit under my tushy I've always been passionate about it, but guys, listen, you need to understand that the physical activity and resistance training, also known as strength training, is about more than just your body composition, okay? There is an element here that is working against you if you are inactive, if you lead a sedentary lifestyle, and that activity that is working against you is something called sarcopenia. And the true definition of sarcopenia is its age-related loss of skeletal muscle, okay? And what happens when this I'm not going to call it a disease because it's not a disease, it's a life occurrence, okay? What happens is that you become more frail, all right? And when you become more frail, and that train keeps rolling down that track like a steamroller, at the end of that steamroller is a life of somebody else taking care of you. So let's talk about sarcopenia, okay? Sarcopenia, as I said, it is the age-related loss of skeletal muscle mass, all right? It's not that your door is heavier, it's that you have declined in your muscle strength to be able to move that same door. It's not that the cat litter bag got heavier, it's that you are losing your skeletal muscle and the ability to keep lifting that same weight of cat litter, okay? The causes of sarcopenia, number one, inactivity, okay? Number two, unhealthy eating. The more sedentary you are, the more crap you're taking into your body, the greater your risk factor for sarcopenia. In 6.5 years of having my business here and hundreds of people that I have met along the way, I have yet to meet somebody who has said to me, I am looking forward to the day that I have to give up my home that I love to move into a facility where somebody else is helping me get out of bed, feed myself, get dressed, use the bathroom. I've never met that person. I don't want to be that person, right? So this is important stuff, and I need you guys to hear me on this, okay? The impact of sarcopenia, I just said it. It's your quality of life. It's the loss of independence. The rate increases in people that are living with chronic diseases. So if you have been, shrugging your shoulders saying, oh, I'll address that at some point. If your doctor is telling you that you already are pre-diabetic, folks, you're diabetic, okay? That's it. It's time to do something. It's time to take action, all right? Because the more you push that off, the greater the risk of that steamroller hitting you, right? That's just where it's at. So what are some symptoms that occur when you are living or in that sarcopenia, or really severe sarcopenia state? Well, things like I just said, you find it more difficult to do your daily activities, getting out of bed, transferring to and from the toilet, maybe getting out of the tub or the shower. Maybe it's getting dressed. You're finding that more challenging, more difficult, harder to get your pants on from a standing position, harder to bend over and get your shoes on from a seated position. Maybe you're noticing that climbing stairs, okay? It's not that you have to sell your home when you're getting older if you have a 2-story house. It's not that you need to sell because it's getting harder for you to go up those stairs. It just means that you need to be doing activities that are going to support your strength and your mobility so that you can continue to go up the stairs of your home to your bedroom or office, okay? If you've noticed a change in your gait, in your walking patterns, this is actually a symptom of sarcopenia. We start getting less confident about our balance and our ability to take those bigger steps. So we tighten and shorten our gait. That actually puts us at a greater risk for a fall, okay? If you already are experiencing poor balance and you're falling a lot, you may already be in that sarcopenic or severe sarcopenic state. So this message is important for you, okay? We need to get on the ball and find that good resistance training program. The truth of the matter is that we have a lot of time in our week, especially as we are in our retirement years. I know some retired couples stay very, very active and busy, and that is amazing, all right? But really, honestly, if you look at your day, are you honestly able to come back and look me in the eye and tell me that you can't carve out 20 to 30 minutes consistently every other day, every week, to make sure that you can stay strong, independent, and that you're not becoming frail and have to go off to assisted living or have somebody in your family take care of you, children or otherwise, right? And what's interesting to me also is, I'm going to revert back to this couple a little bit. The wife is actually telling me that she does some yoga and Pilates, and that's awesome, okay? But I am looking as an expert in my field. I know what I'm talking about here. And I know when I look at people, I can tell just how strong and how mobile they are versus how frail or how, not necessarily frail, but kind of getting into that lower end of independence, right? So then there is this little idea of maybe one member of the couple feels like they are stronger and more mobile and able to take care of the less independent member of that couple, right? And then you start realizing that maybe you're not as good as you thought you were. That was actually a motivator for a couple that we have training with us in the studio now. The wife actually came with the idea that, hey, I'm walking a lot. I'm active every day. So I'm going to go ahead and join your small group training to support my husband. And then when he's kind of on his own and he's getting better, then I'll stop. But what happened is that she realized as she participated in our group training that she wasn't as well off, she wasn't as strong and capable as she thought she was. And they are still training with us today, going into their, I believe it's 2.5 years now that they've been with us. And so there's a message here, a lesson to be learned, right? Again, I talked a little bit about the risk factors that put you at a greater risk of full-blown severe sarcopenia. Again, inactivity, obesity, RA, any other chronic disease that you might be dealing with right now, or maybe you're not dealing with it and you're just in your head thinking it's going to go away sometime. If you're insulin resistant, you are at a risk for sarcopenia. If you have reduced hormone levels, which absolutely happens to us as we get older, like you have to pay attention to that. If you are not getting enough adequate, high quality protein in every day, that also puts you at a risk. So I've kind of given you what you might perceive as the doom and gloom, but I want you to understand that you are never too late to start training, okay? It is not too late to get on board with this. 20 to 30 minutes every other day, each week. Consistency matters. So every time you, and I'm speaking more to my clients that may be watching this, right? If you're only training with me 2 or 3 days a week and Sally calls and says, hey, let's go have breakfast today, and that breakfast time for Sally is the time you would normally come in and do your session, and you cancel your session, and then a day later when you're supposed to come back and something else comes up, like the garage door won't open, now you've only trained 1 out of 3 times in that week, and you didn't make an effort to make that session up. You are already undoing everything that you've put in, okay? It's serious, guys. It's consistency. 20 to 30 minutes of a well-balanced, well-rounded strength, conditioning, balance, mobility, flexibility program is going to go a long way to optimal longevity. Now, what does that mean, optimal longevity? Well, maybe you're somebody that has been looking forward to retirement so that you and your spouse can travel, right? I just had a client who spent 2 weeks in Italy, up and down stairs, climbing hills, walking. I think she told me one day they had logged like 60,000 steps in their day, right? Crazy stuff. But she was able to do that because she has been consistent in her workout. So maybe traveling is something that you want to do. Maybe spending more time with your grandchildren. For me personally, I was very active with my grandparents when I was a kid. I went horseback riding, we water skied, we jet skied, we gardened, all of those fun things. And I want those experiences with my grandchildren. And so I train for that, right? What does it take? Well, I have to be able to get up and down off the floor from my tent. I have to be able to lift my cooler and move things around. So those are the types of things that you need to be thinking about, right? I want you to purge from your head that aging is about ending your life, right? It is the best time ever. You've raised your children. You have slaved to your career so that you have retirement money to do the things that you want to do. And then something happens along the way. Maybe it's an accident. Maybe it's an injury. Maybe it's just that you're already starting to feel the impacts of sarcopenia and you're pre-sarcopenic, right? And your energy's down. Guys, this is the time to get into a safe, again, well-rounded strength program that can help turn the tide on sarcopenia, okay? This isn't about getting into beast Hulk mode, tearing my shirt off, showing you my big abs and my big pec muscles and my delts and all of that. This is about keeping strength to do the things that you need to do in your life, the things that you want to do in your life, and the things that you love to do in your life, okay? That's my message today. If anything that I said resonated with you and you have questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. If you are watching this video and you know somebody that could benefit from the information, please share the information. I don't want you to be this gentleman who I should have helped 2 years ago. I should have been more persistent about the benefits of him starting with me now. I'm grateful that he reached back out and said, okay, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and do this. But I don't want that to happen to you, okay? That's my message, right? So it's a real thing, sarcopenia. It's real. It can happen to you, it can happen to me, but we can do something about it. Just 20 to 30 minutes every other day, every week consistently can give you the best years of your life. Guys, that's it for today. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you the next time.